as I said in the last video, I know it's not easy. It's embarrassing, but I got into these movies now, so now I have to kind of talk about them a little bit. Again, I know I'm probably the last person in the entire universe to finally watch the Terminator films, but hey, who cares? They're just movies, so better late than never. It's whatever. It's not a requirement. Nobody had to watch it, but I chose to. Like I said, I didn't get into action films until last year, so now I'm catching up on a lot of the ones that I missed. And now, as I watch these later movies, especially the ones that came out in the, late 2000s up until now, I kind of kick myself for not seeing these movies in theaters. But I guarantee you, if there is a Terminator 7, I'm going to see it in theaters. I'm going to see Fast 11 in theaters. I'm going to see the next Mission Impossible in theaters. I got to watch the Jason Bourne movies, and if I like them, if they come out with another one, I'm seeing that one too. What else am I missing? I saw the first John Wick. I don't remember much of it. I saw it a while ago. I have to rewatch that. If I like it, I'm going to watch the other three. And if I like them, I'll see John Wick 5 if they do that one. So Judgment Day, I really don't have to talk much about. Again, I know every other person who exists, every other person in the universe has seen this movie but me. But I watched it not too long ago, and I would for sure give this movie at least a good 9.5 to 9.9, if not a perfect 10. I kind of want to say 10. So, and what's funny to me is Rotten Tomatoes gave the first movie a 100%. They gave this one a 91%. Internet Movie Database gave the last movie 81%. They gave this one 86%. Metacritic gave this one a 75%. I didn't see what they gave the first one. Google users gave the first movie a 92%, I think, and gave this one a 95%. As far as budget and box office numbers for the first film had a budget of under $7 million and had a box office of over $78 million. This one has a budget of, I think I just saw it, I think it's $120 million, is it? $102 million budget and box office over $520 million. So that was a huge increase from with the last film. I mean, 78 million, one movie, 520, the next movie, dang. So this is the movie that all the Terminator fans say that this one was the best one. And so far, I'm still a little bit conflicted. I'm leaning towards this one. But after I saw the fourth, fifth, and especially sixth ones, it's close. It's really tough. I'll get to those others in other videos. I know you guys already know what the plot of this movie is, but let me just read it anyway, because that's my standard thing that I do when I talk about movies here and shows and games and other things in this channel. In this sequel, set 11 years after The Terminator, young John Connor, 11 years after, 84 to... Oh, okay, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm lost right now. I can't think right now. These timeline movies kind of get a little bit confusing, but hey, it's good nevertheless. In the sequel set 11 years after The Terminator, young John Connor, the key to civilization's victory over a future robot uprising, is the target of the shape-shifting T-1000. That's the bad robot played by Robert Patrick. A Terminator sent from the future to kill him. Another Terminator, the revamped T-800, Arnold, has been sent back to protect the boy. As John and his mother, Sarah, go on the run with the T-800, the boy forms an unexpected bond with the robot. Now, you already know the first movie came out in 84. This one came out in 91. I'd be surprised if I see... So Google users gave this on average, they gave it 95 to 98%. I see some 1 and 2 stars right here. I'm going to click on a couple of these because I'm just curious to see what... Okay, doesn't really say much under 1 star. I think they just voted 1 star, but didn't really give a comment or detailed reason. Let me see, 3 stars. One person here who gave it a 3-star says, as the first sequel to the original movie and has Arnold Schwarzenegger reprising his most famous role, this film concentrates more on action and amazing CGI effects this time around. As in the first film, we have 2 opponents against one another in a battle to determine man's destiny. The film was a huge financial success and had a more expensive budget than the first one. But even with the more elaborate sets and effects, it didn't have the same magic as the first movie. So I would say what made this movie a lot better is, I'm going to state the obvious. There was a lot more action in this film. The action was a lot better than in the first one. And like I said, the first movie I give about 8.5 to 9. This one is 9.5 to 9.9, if not a perfect 10. So both movies are really, really great, but this one just kind of edges it out more. So not much to say. I love it. I know I've ran into some people, not a lot, who say that they're not big on action movies, but if you were to start somewhere, I would definitely say the Terminator franchise is one way to start. If you don't start with that, at least start with Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious, Taken, somewhere in that category there, like somewhere along those lines. Am I going to watch this movie again? Yes, because that's what I do. And I know a lot of you movie geeks and film nerds and people who like TV shows as much as I do. When you really like something, you watch it more than once, because that's just what we do. Apparently, we have nothing better to do with our lives. So I'm definitely going to be watching this movie again. And to those of you, by any chance, if you haven't seen it, I know 99% of the people watching this already have, but if you haven't, this one is on Paramount Plus, and currently it's on Netflix. I guess they just put it on Netflix. It's probably not going to be on there long, because Netflix is known for having certain movies and shows on, especially movies on there, for about a week or two. Or you can rent the movie on Amazon or YouTube. Usually only costs you $2 or $3. I'd say it's worth it if it gets to that point, but catch it on Netflix and or Paramount while it's on there now. Common Sense Media gave this movie an 80%. Kind of low for a movie like this, right? Internet Movie Database, 86%, and I already went over Rotten Tomatoes and the others. So I love it. And as I said, I'll be watching it again. Probably not tonight, probably not tomorrow night, probably not even this weekend or next weekend, but eventually I'd say I'll be watching it again in a few months before the year's over. Now, again, I'm doing this for two major reasons. One, because I got into action films now, a lot of them, a number of them, not all of them just yet, but we're getting there. And also, this probably helps expand my channel, maybe help increase my subscriber base, because initially when I started the channel, it was only politics. Then I expanded a little bit. I say, okay, let me add in some video games that I like, which is mainly Mortal Kombat, since that's about the only game I play. Okay, now let's do some TV shows here. You got your SVU, and now let's do some horror films. You got Scream, Halloween. I'm like, okay, well, hell, let me just add some action films too. That helps make it a little better. Plus, I genuinely like the movie too. So, like and subscribe. I got more coming.